Lex had did something, and I think she did it in just right because we trying to have fun with this while get some understanding. But that seems to be the overarching sentiment, and we had this conversation before, right? I was gonna pull Callie up here, but she was already in the second seat, so she popped up here. Callie, remember when we was like, it was the sentiment was, y'all just want us to attack each other and blame each other and go at each other, right?
Yeah, I remember.
But
Yeah.
I understand that sentiment, and I'm not saying it's 100% incorrect, but the lack of saying, yo, that's dead wrong is an issue. And then it makes the women that are sitting there look foolish too. Right? Because
Yeah,
when we
I would
don't
agree.
speak up, go ahead, my bad.
No, I was gonna say I would agree. You pointed that out to me before on some
You
shit that
know?
I was on. Yeah.
And so the reason, to Sherelle's point, why it could look confusing is because there are contrasting opinions. Quite often when we have these conversations, it is slightly like an echo because it seems like the women don't want to say, no, that's bullshit. Maybe that is the confusing part to her point, that there are a few contrasting opinions, but in fact, there was really on. Jalen, did you give the ladies a grade?
No.
I didn't think so. What was the grade?
F.
F. Okay. So this clip here, right? This is a microcosm. So think about this. So we focused on the women today. Think about this. If this is the modus operandi, how does a nigga navigate this type of shit? Watch this. Look at miscommunication in the corner. Did I show y'all this before?
Yeah.
Y'all haven't seen this?
I remember this.
Relly, you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Okay. But look at miscommunication. And then just watch her response overall.
You know?
Indeed. So miscommunication. Does body count matter?
I think we covered this earlier on. I said to me, it doesn't matter, to be honest with you. I don't think it matters. I mean, I don't specifically think it matters.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's yours?
I don't know.
Miscommunication. I said, what's yours? I didn't say what's mine.
I don't know.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
This one part I need your help on. Does she know?
Probably not.
I think so.
How she don't know?
I think she got a roundabout number if she wanted to say she don't.
She probably has an estimate, but she probably genuinely doesn't have a number.
What? She don't know how many dudes she slept with?
Most women
I think she knows. She just don't want to say.
That part. Like,
Yeah, I don't think people are actually. I don't think people are actually keeping count. Who's keeping count though?
Terrell, does she know?
Oh, y'all don't keep count?
They don't keep count once it gets too high.
Come on. But they know though, right though?
No, because sometimes, like, think
she
about
know.
it,
She know.
Like, they'll
wanted
forget,
us to
like,
tell the truth?
once
No,
you start
they
sleeping
don't.
with so many men, you don't even remember all their names. You'll forget the numbers. You know all your numbers?
No.
You talking about me?
Names?
You talking about
Huh?
me?
You know all the names?
If I had to compile it, bro, I could probably, but I got a good memory though, so maybe that's not fair. You know what I mean?
they probably can do a rough estimate or whatever, but they'll do that in their head and don't want to say it. Of course not.
So a dude come back from the past and be like, I smashed. You gonna look at him like, I don't recall? What?
If she don't recall?
No, she'll probably remember. If she'll probably remember him, but she probably ain't gonna know what number he is. You know what I'm saying? She'll probably remember.
I'm not saying know your number sequentially.
If
like
she was
this,
drunk
this,
and she
this, and
smashed
this.
them after
You
the
should
club,
be
she don't
able to
remember
say,
him.
I don't fuck 22 people. I fuck 45. Like,
Yes, you should. But the question was, does she know? I don't think she knows.
I don't think she
Really?
knows. She probably has a rough grasp.
She know it's high, but she
Yeah, she knows it's high.
you don't know the exact number, they'll start to forget because that's some whole shit.
Come on, son.
Yeah, you should know.
What is a number that's forgettable? Like, what range is that?
I'm telling you, after 10, they stop counting.
I was finna say when you run out of fingers. When you run out of fingers,
When you
that's
run
when
out
you
of
stop
fingers,
counting.
they stop counting because they in the double digits now. It's like they know I'm a hoe. Like once you reach
serious?
10, you a hoe.
Wait, what you mean? That's the consensus?
10 is the whole like number.
So
Get
if
10,
you could,
it's like I'm a hoe.
if you could do this right here, if you gotta do this,
Oh, I'm a
then it's
loose woman.
over.
I'm a loose woman. It's over 10.
Damn.
Because look, six is the graveyard. They only put you 6 feet in the ground. Okay?
Come on, son. I thought in New Orleans they don't even do people get buried? Is that just a certain graveyard I saw?
Some people get buried. We can't bury
do?
people everywhere.
Because of the
So
water.
a lot of people get buried in the walls or above ground. But we
Above-
have
I seen it.
my family have plots in the ground.
I never seen that shit before. Before I went to New Orleans. All right. So Joette, what you said? You said she should know or she don't. You think she know?
I think she knows. She just doesn't want to say.
So did she immediately contradict herself by quote unquote not knowing? Because she said body count it don't matter.
Possibly, but it was to save grace for herself.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. If you saying you think she know, but she don't want to say it, and when I asked her, does it matter? She said no. Is the reason because she knows it matters?
I would say yes. Yes.
All right, let me see.
Imagine if you had to wear it on your forehead, right?
Oh
like every time you
God.
caught a body.
Right.
Every time you caught a body, the number went on your forehead.
The number go up.
Let's see if it wouldn't matter then.
Night, I read see no because really got on my ass. Like, now I ain't letting shit slide now.
Don't let none slide because they'll run them
Everybody need to be held accountable, men and women.
Nope, we ain't talking about the
Women.
They did the men yesterday for 5 hours.
Hold the men.
If the count was on your head, son,
If the
how many women would look like an inmate number?
Ooh,
Oh my God, yo.
just give me my money.
Wow.
All right, so you saw this, Callie. Oh no, so Tiff, you didn't see this, right? And Joel, did you see this? You may have seen it watching. I'm not sure. All right, bet.
I don't think so.
All right, let's keep going. Cause look, the main she albino though. The main argument is that yesterday is that there's slim pickings with options. We want men to look for a needle in a haystack, right? Or no, it's hay in a needle snack, so you can't even burn the shit to find to find it. And so we saying, hey, men, be disciplined, but the argument was be disciplined for who? For what? There's nobody to match.
I don't think that's fair. It's not a nobody, it's just rare.
Yeah, that's what we mean. It's fair. Nobody, rare. Yeah. So
nobody means zero. Low is different.
The women, Tiff, you've heard me say this a million times. All don't mean all when we having a conversation. So that was the key argument that was being made, right? And then in terms of men, since we don't even have that access, whether we like it or not, the majority of us are pretty disciplined because the average body count for man at 35 is 8. So even by Relly standard, niggas ain't even hoes. He got 2 more bodies to go. And for women's standards, let alone men. She said 50, he can go to 49 and be good. Niggas can't even get to 9. Damn, that's crazy. All right.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's a pussy credit score report type situation.
The whole thing.
After a certain amount of whatever is in a certain amount of years, like it doesn't.
And for real, it doesn't matter. They're not gonna believe you anyway. You can say 5, they're not gonna believe you. You say 10,
no, people get mad. When people get mad, they're like, "You fucking hoe, you out here fucking everybody." Blah, blah. That's
because they care, because it matters.
But listen, it doesn't matter. Let's.
That's a question. If certain people to get the rings knocked out of, man.
But let's go to this for a second. It's like this. It's like that kind of conversation happens when somebody, people actually ask that question. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not a question that I get. I don't get that question. So it's like, it's not like, oh, how many? That's not a question that I mean, I'm a grown woman. I have a child. Like, I'm grown. Like, it's like I keep on going back to that.
All right. Yeah. We know y'all old. Yeah. All right, look.
Now I'm
So
old.
so because initially they were like, real men don't ask about body count. What is that? What does that mean when she says that? Can y'all define that for me? Real men don't ask about body count. What was the intention of that?
Real men don't hold me accountable.
It's always real when they when it's somebody that's acquiescing to their bullshit. They'll take your manhood away, your realness away, if you ain't on their type of time. Like, no, it is what it is. Then they always trying to hit you with that, I'm grown. Like that. That means your grownness, it deletes the wholeness. Only kids can be whores. You know what I'm saying? Once you're grown, whole shit is adult shit. So
exactly. You must that part, because we was talking about that the other day too. I don't even think you was there. You've been sick, but
yeah,
it's like, yo, you could. So she dressed like a smut if she a little girl and her mom dressed her like that. But the mom is okay because the mom grown. No, the mom still dressed like a smut too. But we always, you know what I'm saying? Like what Sherelle just said, like, yo, that's the same thing. Kid or no kid.
It's hypocritical.
Nobody can't tell you shit because you grown, you know?
It's hypocritical. And we are making conditional standards that under 18, no, but now, quote unquote, you grown, you have a freedom, which it's not. And people that have, I guess we'll say standards or expectations, you're going to get judged on it. That's what it is.
How about this? If you're, how you say it?
You just say it.
It's a new terminology.
Okay.
If your whole phase had a credit score.
Oh, wow.
Would your credit low is bad, high is good?
What does that mean? In terms of what does that mean?
If you got a 500 credit score, that mean that you think your body's is kind of like up there in terms of comparison.
Low credit score means low body count. High credit score means high body.
No, high credit score means low. So good is good.
Okay.
So the less bodies you have, the better essentially your credit score is. Is that what you're saying?
We're going to 800. We're going to 800. I gotta help you out here, miscommunication. We're going to 800.
I wouldn't even. I think my credit score would be average. Like it would just be an average. It's an average credit score.
Okay.
It ain't like I'm telling you. It's like I ran through the whole team or something like that. That's not even it. But I'll say no. I mean, let's be clear. I didn't know, but I always say the younger part of my younger days were woo. My younger days were woo. And then my younger days were oh boy.
She had a train ran on her. Woo mean train. That's cold.
Yeah, woo mean you was wilding. Yo, look at this. And I was having an issue framing the question because when I framed the question, right, it's hey Tiff, mute. You got a little bit of background noise before you speak. It's almost like a trap, right? Because she said body count don't matter, but then she couldn't remember hers, right? But then also my question, the correlations, if you choose, it kind of makes her contradict herself. Because I immediately made a 500 credit score mean you have a lot of bodies, and then a 800 credit score mean you don't have bodies. You see what I'm saying? So if she picks, that means she's already kind of locked into what I'm thinking. You know, the assumption I'm making about body count being bad. You see what I'm saying? Am I making sense?
Yeah.
That's why I hesitate.
Yeah, you're making sense.
Because I almost should have just asked her, what's your credit score based on your bodies, essentially. And then if she would have said, oh, it's 800, because I wasn't wilding, but she said she was wilding. All right, let's see. But the next part. Tiff, are you there? She might not be there. Jalen, you seen this, right?
Yep.
And someone else said I smell like 200. It's more like a 720. It's more like a 7. It's more like a 720.
That's hot. Hold on now.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
So that means 720 in my mind is like if y'all niggas are like 45, so that's like 20 bodies.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if it's 20 bodies. I don't know. If it's 20 bodies. 720.
So you got what she said. Because we did a math one time just to give y'all context, and we was like, yo, so let's say somebody start having sex at like I think Isha says 16 or 17, something like that.
Okay.
And let's say you get in a couple relationships a year, dating, whatever the case is, and you catch 2 bodies a year. That doesn't sound unrealistic.
Okay. And how many bodies would that? So if you're 16, when
and you go to 30,
and you're 30, so about that would be what? That's 14. Is that 14 years? So that's 20. That's 28 bodies.
And we were just saying, is that like unrealistic? Is that feasible? And we were just saying, if somebody out in the world, based on what we've been, taught throughout life,
bodies, right?
Like, yeah, I'm thinking, like, is it a realistic number?
It isn't. It's not. But see, here's the thing. Aren't there periods in time when you're in a relationship, so there's no bodies getting added on that? There's reasons why. There's reasons why.
You just give or take a few. Like you would take off a couple. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're saying like 2 a year on average doesn't sound crazy when you say it out loud.
You have people who don't have sex until they are in their 20s. You have people who don't have sex until they're 20 years old. They only had sex with that one person up until that person fucked it up or whatever, and then they started fucking everybody for a little while, and then they went back to their normal.
Yeah, we're not disagreeing. We just but we're just saying if we had to average it out for sake of conversation.
So
did y'all hear that?
It's exhausting.
Did y'all hear that? What part is exhausting? Go ahead.
The fact that she admitted that in her younger years her sexual habits were poor, but she still gave herself a 720. At that point, you're bullshitting people. It's just fake accountability. Like it don't even matter if it was in your younger years that you were doing whole shit. You still did whole shit. This is why I hate when people give the advice to younger people. Mm-hmm. Oh, just live your life in your 20s. It's okay. Just go live your life. Go travel. Go fuck up, basically. Not buckle
live
down.
Your life, not what you
gotta do to be prosperous, or do what you gotta do to find the person that you want to be married to. That's not the advice. The advice is the opposite. Go live your life. Go.
Because misery loves company, bro. I'm telling you, everybody that be in whole culture, they be trying to make other people miserable. They swear they happy. Motherfuckers on Percocets, antidepressants. They smoke weed every single day. They smoking cigarettes, they drinking, they itching, they scratching, they can't find their baby daddies, but they want to give you advice, bitch. I don't want nothing you got to say. Don't tell me nothing.
Since we just on the women, I'll put it like this. Discipline, the long-term benefits that you get from sexual discipline outweighs the short-term gratification that you get from sex.
Yeah.
Agree.
Period.
And that's what we talked about the chastity. when she said, "Oh, like, well, you get in a relationship," which y'all said, and she's like, "Well, once that breaks up, then it's like a free for all." Were you saying this initial relationship is a floodgate? So don't have the initial relationship. If everything else outside of that is going to have repercussions, are we moving that way? No, but we don't punish that.
But Tiff, what Jalen is highlighting is we don't even say the right things. We project our experience, right? We want to justify the things we did incorrectly, and then not listen to the young folk.
I agree. We give it when I was young, and it's like, well, okay, well then you kind of opt out of. You can talk about your experience, but the advice may be questioned, and you can't take that personal.
All right, let me get to the. Now, Black Pearl did say that's why it matters. She did say that. Nobody else said much of anything. 2 bodies a year didn't seem outlandish.
No.
Oh, and this is the thing. What I'm articulating here for context is we had a conversation with the fellas, and the fellas was like, yo, if we meet her at 30, 32, our assumption is she probably having sex with 1 or 2 cats at least every year. So if she hit 20, 25, 30 bodies, niggas is like, that's the expectation. That shit sound fucking like, what y'all think about that part? That we willing to accept that? Like, because that's what we assume we picking from.
I wish y'all wouldn't accept it. Y'all control the access to us being in a relationship or a marriage with you.
So what you want us to do, Jalen?
Obviously, we're talking about the women today. The women need to preserve themselves.
I'm saying, what do you want us to do?
Y'all?
Y'all gotta
well, because you said the reason why I'm asking that specifically is because you said we control access to this, that, and the third, right? So let's say we stick on that for a brief second.
Mm-hmm.
This is the majority. Like, y'all just ranked. Y'all gave women an F in terms of pussy preservation. So this is the majority. So what's your realistic advice?
My realistic advice is hold out. Don't give these women time, attention, your money. I mean, I would hope you not give your penis, but y'all say y'all can't do that. So your time, money, attention, don't give a hoe that. You giving her that,
but the majority of them are
that
hoes.
shit is okay. Yes,
But
I agree.
here's
The majority of them are hoes, but he asked me the advice I would give to men. My advice would not be placate to secular society and do what everybody else is doing. No, if you got standards, if you got morals, if you got principles, stand on that shit. But if you weak, then go be like everybody else.
So are you suggesting that the majority of men get a dog and die alone?
You're not gonna die alone. My God, you're not gonna die alone.
Are you suggesting
what
that
other
majority of
suggestion
men
is
get a
there?
dog and die alone? Go ahead, you got the floor.
No, that is not what I suggested.
But
I said stand on your morals and principles as a man.
let Sherelle interject what she was trying to say and then answer with that information.
Okay, so that's not gonna be, that's basically telling them to just die alone. Because at the end of the day, if they I'm not gonna deal with the women as hoes, that means you're not gonna deal with 80% of the women. And that's 100% of the men now have to write off 80% of the women. So how is 100% of the men gonna marry 20% of the women? There have to be different options for them.
But wait a minute, wouldn't that track if women are only married at 30%?
Tiff,
I'm saying
it's Jalen's turn.
I just asked a question. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We don't want to get Jalen out of there.
Yeah, no, I understand the sentiment that the men have. But you succumbing because women are hoes is you giving up the fact that you have the opportunity to be in leadership with a woman that actually wants to follow you or do what you want her to do. So if you gonna placate for a woman, then you don't have no standards. You don't have none. You not standing on shit. So go placate.
No, because then I still feel like that's kind of like blaming them or like putting still the responsibility on them for the women. Like, I mean, I know y'all just
Both
hate to
sides
think
have
about it, but
different forms of responsibility, though, right? To make a relationship work.
I feel like unless they want a family and kids, they don't need to be marrying these women at all. And unless they if they want to go overseas or try to find some type of better woman that they can get, that's what they're gonna have to do. Because the whole shit, whole culture, all of that is all cool, but nobody want to wife that. Nobody want to legitimize that. Nobody want to commit to no hoe. Nobody want to do that. And smashing hoes and you want to be down, okay, but committing your life to a whole, your finances, your health, your business, everything, tying your life to a woman that's just loose like that, that's a bad investment.
I mean, but I agree. On top of being with a toxic woman, on top of being with a disrespectful woman, on top of being with a woman who doesn't have no decorum whatsoever. I agree with that. Yet they still do it. Again, both sides have different forms of responsibility. You want us, and I agree, to preserve ourselves.
That's your responsibility.
Yes. I said that before. You
and
said
see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Well, no, you did a good job. Now, here's the thing, right? You know, that is one of those key things that the majority of men have an issue with not wanting or trying to get just about by any means, with the exception of taking advantage of a woman, right? So men want sex, right? Essentially. And so that bargaining chip, it don't even matter. So y'all can abuse it and still get what y'all want, because men want to be with women. So you want your husband to do all these things that I know a nigga got for free. And what I mean by for free is for very little. But your husband got to prove everything to you to get what a nigga got for slim to nothing.
I agree with that. What's the best course of action that shows accountability for a woman to do that used to do those things? If it's not getting on the celibacy track, committing herself to something higher than herself and her sexual desire. Because if all you're going to do is throw it in her face, and women do it too to men, is throw it in her face that she used to be a hoe. Meanwhile, she's on the celibacy journey, committing herself to God. Well, what else do you want her to do to hold herself accountable?
Listen, here's a thing, right? When niggas get locked up and they get released into society, they don't got the same liberties anymore, right? They don't get to do what everybody else get to do. Because if I get arrested and locked up, they look into your past. Oh, you got a history of violence. You got this, you got that. When I go to the gun store, they scrutinize the shit out of me, right? Because of the things that you've done. They don't treat you the same way. That's how life actually happens. So if a man gives her the opportunity to be his wife, she better not be, oh, I don't feel like fucking. Well, hold on. You fuck 30 niggas for free. See, that's the problem. You don't get to operate in the same way. That's not how that works. You got to operate differently because of your past transgressions. Ain't that how? Isn't that people pay restitution all the time?
When she's married, right?
Yeah, when she married, when she with a man that's willing to accept her.
Yeah.
But what you think about the conduct, though?
The conduct of the woman?
Yeah, yes. See, that's the thing. Women so 30% of marriage. Sorry, Jay. Let me just get this out. 30% of marriages are sexless, and it's just like, how, bro? Yeah, y'all ain't virgins, but y'all leverage this vagina thing over men, and you gave it up freely previously. That's like me. I'm a trick. I get married. I stop tricking. I've been tricking. But now she acting like, oh, this got to change because I'm with a man. It's abusive, kind of. Go ahead. I'm done.
Being restrictive like that is a form of abuse, yes. Yeah, her behavior is unbecoming. Her behavior is wrong. I've watched it. You showed this clip twice. I'm gonna be honest. This is like deja vu for me. The two women in this clip, wrong as fuck. Especially having 300 men.
Hold on, Jalen. God damn. Watching no movie with you, man.
It's in the title, yo. Look at the title.
Nigga, they not even.
Oh, last time I checked, over 300.
Yo, this is crazy. I'm just playing.
1 to 2. 1 to 2 doesn't seem outlandish.
No, yeah, because like Mickey just saying is one. You might have one for 2 years, and then when you get out of that, you like fuck these niggas. Then you catch up because you hit 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much that can help balance it. So,
explain to you. I love it. Every time she says it, I have been redeemed. So, Lord has 3 times. Explain to you. I love it. Listen, I'm an open book. I don't even care because I'm a refined whore. So, let me explain to you. I love it. Every time she says it, I don't even care because I'm a refined whore. So, let me explain to you. I love it. Every time she says it, I'm an open book. I don't even care because I'm a refined whore. So, let me explain to you. I love it. Every time she says it, every time. Come on, let's go, Royal. Do it. Redeemed. I have been redeemed. So the Lord has delivered in a mighty way. In a mighty way. No, it does not matter. Last count over 300. Wow. And that's not that. Wait, stop. Hold on a second. Stop. Last count over 300. Wow. And that's not that. Wait, stop. Hold on a second. Doc, I love you. He had to go sit down somewhere.
Where did he go? Where did he go?
You are my
yo, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. We out. yo,
that was the mic drop of all my drops on that one. And we never had a mic drop.
Now, here's the part that irks me, man. This grinds my gears, man. This scuffs my Timbs. When Shorty said, "Where Shorty, you know I love you, right?" All that shit. After she done said body count don't matter. But look at miscommunication when she hears this shit. She has the most demonstrative response. This is shit that scuffed the hell out of my Timbs right here.
I gotta ask a follow-up question. What's yours if you don't want to answer that? Like,
listen, I'm an open book. I don't even care because I'm a refined whore. So let me explain to you. I love it. Every time she says it, every time. Come on, let's go, Royal. Do it. Redeemed. I have been redeemed. So the Lord has delivered in a mighty way. In a mighty way. No, it does not matter. Last count over 300. Wow. And that's not that.
Look at her, son. She had the most overt response after saying the shit don't matter. And then Doc says, no, it don't matter. But she's been redeemed. Right? So what is she admitting? This shit is crazy. Like, it's crazy. And it's like, why the inconsistent?
Wait, stop. Hold on a second. Doc, I love you. He had to go sit down somewhere.
Yo, this be the problem. It's like we can't even get the truth. How are we supposed to navigate this shit?
You see, ain't know she was gonna say no damn 300. When you say that stuff, to say for real, it don't matter as long as it's reasonable. But we all know that 300. She wasn't expecting that shit.
I'm not good. Was she a sex worker? A prospect? Was she a lady of the night?
I mean,
I'm sure that's the last number she thought she was gonna say.
Most women,
and she said at the last count.
Most women's knee-jerk reaction wouldn't be to tell the truth. Like, that shit crazy, bro. Like, you got help? Like, no. It's gonna be, oh, well, if that's what you want to do, that's a bit wild. But if that's what you want to do, that's gonna be the comment.
That's ridiculous.
What's a reasonable number?
I don't know. That's why I said reasonable. Whatever she thought reasonable was, 300 wasn't it. And that's
I would say 5, even at the age of 40 as a woman, 5 makes sense.
What if that message was louder? Because Jalen, it seems like you guys are told live it up in your 20s and then start to get serious. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Players Club mantra has been louder than keep your legs closed. That use what you got to get what you want shit.
Yeah, and crazy part about it is it came from religious people mostly.
What they said?
Quote unquote religious. To live my life. They gave me secular advice. Funny.
Nah, we didn't get that. My grandmother said, ain't nothing open at past 11 o'clock except 7-Eleven and Lids.
Yeah, that's a different time. These are the women that have gotten married or committed themselves to God, and that's
And they
their
still
life.
said that? They still
Yeah.
trying to live your life?
Yeah, because they're not young no more. It's a projection.
Yeah, but let's be honest. We heard
Or
that
it
shit.
might be them trying to live vicariously through you because they
That
didn't do it in their youth.
that too.
So what's the problem? Like, what's the problem, right? She was honest. 300 bodies is crazy. I think the majority of the women, even up there, the ones that said that it didn't matter, it mattered to them once they heard a number. They thought that they couldn't like envision essentially. And so what is high? What would you say is high for women? And obviously it matters. And what have been the teachings? Because Jalen 20, what you 25?
Mm-hmm.
And she ain't never heard nobody tell her keep her legs closed. Not saying nobody, right? But you catch my
Yeah,
drift.
majority of them didn't.
People say live it up.
I ain't never heard that either.
What?
Like,
What, live it up? Nah.
keep your legs closed. Not once you're an adult. People mind their business.
Now I heard it when I was a kid.
Yeah, when you were a kid, nobody not.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The correlation is that you're saying be chasing when you're young, but you hit a certain age and okay, well you can do whatever.
Because especially in our
Let's be
communities where
specific. 18.
marriage isn't really a thing that we do in the Black community as a whole. So yeah, like you get up in age, and people just looking at you like, what I'm gonna tell a grown ass person? Wait till marriage, and they're not married 9 times out of 10. Your parents ain't married. Your aunts and uncles ain't married. So the people that are really necessarily getting married, if
Mhm.
they're like first generation, they come from families of marriage. So they're being told by people who are leading by example. But if you're not leading by example, you can't tell niggas nothing.
Yeah. Mm.
A bunch of people
Have it-
having children at 15 trying to tell me to close my legs would have just been backwards as hell. But them just, you know what I'm saying? You gotta.
But what if they came with the caveat of I had a child at 15, here are the repercussions. You free to do what you have to
That would be
do.
nice, like the whole "don't be me," but that's
Mhm.
not what they be on. They be on "be like me."
No, but what I'm saying is if we're going to correct our behavior as women, then if we did things as a younger person and it didn't really benefit us when we got older, then we have a responsibility to say, I did it and here is what it cost me.
Yeah, but that's not how they be. So, like I said, the misery love the company. To where, like, nobody not gonna correct you. They want you to go outside like they went outside, because they don't want you feeling like you better than them.
And
Yeah.
I get that, but going into calendar year, new year, 2025, when we're talking about women, we're going to address women, and we can say in the past, that's not been something that's practiced and it's harmful. So if you're going to give advice to a younger person and your life doesn't represent that, then you first have to acknowledge that. You can say the cost, and at that point, that person has a different
Right.
perspective, but they're still, you know what I'm saying? Like, so not just
People speak. Rochelle's right. People speak high and mighty. We was just talking about this in the Discord, you and I, where they can't hear us because experience don't mean shit if it don't come with wisdom. And oftentimes people don't learn, right? And we always think we grown. There's a decision we make. It's their life, right? That's why I said carte blanche.
so.
Now, let me ask a question. Why was you going so hard at Mr. Fantastic yesterday, Tiff? You agree with the nigga?
I will never agree with him.
You agree with him now?
No. First of all, we're talking about me as a woman. So we're gonna focus on Tiffany. I'm not gonna focus on him or me. And
I'm
today is
saying
about
you
women.
agree with
As
him
a
based on the
woman,
show yesterday.
as a woman, what I
The
am
conduct
saying.
is unbecoming. He's saying there's no choices. Are you telling baby boy go get with a woman that got 30 bodies because that's the norm? Because for me, I ain't telling Big Chug that. hopefully I can raise him up in a place to where there's men raising daughters of like mine, like myself,
I
so that
agree.
they actually understand what Chaz mean. Chaz don't mean I got 4 bodies. Chaz mean I got 0 until I find my husband, right? But it's unrealistic to Jalen's earlier point. And so this is what Mr. Fantastic was articulating. Yo, it's unfair. It's lopsided for niggas out here. So what do they do?
Get the lowest body count that you can stomach at this point until we cross over onto the other
30.
end of that hill.
Cal is 30.
30 at what age?
30.
30 at 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. No, I don't think I'd be able to
You
advise
literally can.
my
But
son
can we
of
be?
that.
I'm sorry,
But
Calvin.
Tiff, why you was disagreeing so much with Mr. Fantastic? He literally was saying the things that you agreed to in a different way yesterday.
So when you and I talked yesterday,
No, Mr. Fantastic, not me.
When you and I talked yesterday, and we talked about listening to the young people,
Mr. Fantastic, not me. I'm talking about the sentiments that you're sharing align with his. Why was you disagreeing with him? Just because it was him?
What was I? What are we the same as?
You gave ladies, in terms of chastity, negative 25.
Okay.
We know based on societal standards, right? A woman that is promiscuous is deemed less valuable, generally speaking. And that's what he was expounding on. Like, yo, the men ain't even doing that bad. You know, but they don't have a whole lot of options. So since the options are bad, at least get sex out of the bad options.
That's what we stop.
All right, go ahead.
Your women's bad behavior should not be indicative of how men carry themselves. If a man is a man and he has his standards.
What about the women's bad behavior, though?
If she's not
what
meeting,
about the woman's bad behavior, though? That's what he was expounding on. Do you agree with the woman's bad behavior? So you agree with him, and you're saying men have to operate at a higher frequency than women.
That, and also a woman that's loosey-goosey and she sees a man has character, she may need to not pollute him with who she is. You don't meet the standard. Back away, walk away. Tell him go find somebody that is for him. But I'm addressing women's behaviors, and I can address what I believe. I'm not aligning myself with yesterday's show and what men believe. We're talking about women today.
No,
right?
you don't get to make that choice. What
Why?
it is I'm gonna tell you, because he said something, right? He said a thing. He said a thing, and then you agree by saying, at the very least, adjacent the same thing that he said. So it's not that you're trying to agree with him. You share the same sentiments or similar sentiments. That's what I'm saying.
I think they're similar.
But then now that you have similar sentiments, I'm confused because I'm like, well, why did you disagree with him yesterday if you have similar sentiments?
Are we talking about today, him and women?
But he was talking about women yesterday.
Yesterday was supposed to be about men. So why were men talking about men talking about women?
100%. But when he made the points, right? Well, listen to this real quick. When he made the points, right, that he made, you disagree with the points that he made.
No, I disagree with, we're talking about men in discipline, and any woman being able to contribute to how you manage your peen. You are an adult, you have standards. Just because she's giving it to you doesn't mean you have to take it. That's on the men. Yeah. For women, the women that as soon as you get out there and you begin to do things, then understand that you are going to have to be accountable for every peen that you entertain. Yeah. But I'm talking about women. And we focused on that. My issue is, how are men talking about men, asking if women are hoes or not. We're not talking about men's behavior today. We are addressing women. We have to say to other women, tighten up and also be realistic. If you got 5 baby daddies, who you believe you qualify for or who is going to deem you dateable is going to be different.
Okay. So what do you say about like what makes a woman, when we talk about pussy preservation, what should women do differently in your estimation, ladies? Do you think does her clothing matter? Conduct matter? Body count matter?
Yeah.
Where she goes, what she does, like what because like you said, men don't believe you, right? They don't believe when you say the body count. So does anything hurt credibility? And this might be stifling, right? Let's be honest. Like women, when I see groups of women like out at nighttime, they have a different feel to me, and I'm saying feel, than when I see women at brunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the appearance first, right? Like
Okay.
how you is your social media? Are you the person? Like how does your pictures look? Are you like, in thongs? Is your ass always out in the bathroom? Pictures
Mhm.
like that, and then your decorum, like of course like tattoos in your face. If you
Damn.
always like talking reckless, talking crazy, or just acting loud, ratchet everywhere you go, stuff like that. That's kind of like what they're gonna focus on. Your decorum, how you behave, how you treat them, how respectful you are. Because a lot of times they gonna what they say, whatever she said her body count is, you gotta multiply it by 3. That's just the math that they doing. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's low, high, whatever it is, they're gonna multiply by 3. They're not gonna believe you. That's what I guess people saying, like most men don't care about it. I mean, they'll take your answer and then they'll add or subtract or do whatever they need to do to try to get a realistic number in their head. But other than that, they kind of like trying to see where your values at, where your morals at, like with your family. Like if they're gonna marry you, it's other shit that you need to be working on more than just your chastity. That's like standard, but it's
Yeah.
not the end all be all. Like, oh, I'm a be celibate and then I'm gonna find a husband. That's not it. Like, if you can't cook, you don't clean, you're not respectful, you're irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't fixing nothing that like your behavior wise, and you think, oh, I'm just gonna hold out on vagina and I'm gonna be an ain't shit bitch, you're not getting a husband like that. Like, that's not you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, oh, let me just lock up the Lucky Charms, because some women, their best attribute is sex.
Yeah. Damn. Was that most women or minority women?
Minority. Let me be out here doing shit.
Go ahead, Joel. You about to say something?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of everything. Everything Sherelle said is the company you keep. Because if you're surrounding yourself with a bunch of females who are hoes, what you think they're gonna think you are, you know? Like back in the day, they say birds of a feather flock together. So there you go. That's your
Damn.
flock. Whether
Is
you
it
are a hoe or not, you're perceived that way
the
by
perception?
the company.
Yeah.
I mean, as well as your attire, your actions. How do you carry yourself? Are you loud? Are you boisterous? Are you always ready to fight? Are you, do you like to drink? Are you going to places, putting yourself in situations? You going to parties, you getting blackout drunk, you going home with different guys? Back to the company you keep. Are they doing those things? It's just a whole bunch of things that go
Yeah.
into the pot.
Does it? Well, we'll go ahead, Jalen. You wanted to add something.
No, they're right. It's a lifestyle. It's not just your external. It's not even just your internal. You have to change everything in order to live a chaste lifestyle, and not center it around a specific person, like a man. You're doing it because you want to be in God's image. That's the main focal point I think people miss in chastity, You're not doing it to get a partner. The partner will come because you are living a chaste life. The right husband, whatever you want to call it. He'll come because you're living chaste. That's the goal.
Does this seem stifling for women?
What?
What you mean?
The life, like she said, living in a particular way. Living in this way.
I will say for most women, they would probably see it as a boring life. A life without fun and risk and adrenaline rushes. Like you will not you won't be able to hang out with the people that you used to. So most of the time you might be by yourself until you find a community of people who are living that life the same way you do. Because, from a religious sense, they love God just as much as you do and want to be in his image. If you're still hanging around with people who are not living that life, then you still trying to hold on to your past. You're not ready yet. Yeah. All of it has to change.
And it's something that you have to commit to for yourself. Like, don't be celibate to get a man. Don't be not a hoe to get a man. Like, do it for yourself. Because what if you get no reward for it? Like, you're gonna be lonely. You're gonna be overlooked. Like, men gonna try to make it seem like, oh yeah, I want you to be. But trust me, you can meet 25 men. All 25 want to smash, and they will all leave your celibate ass alone for the girl that's putting out. They're going to leave you alone for the girl that's going to smash them.
Right. You gotta be okay with it.
And you gotta be okay with that. You gotta be okay with they're gonna overlook you. Ain't nobody they gonna homegirl you. You're gonna be everybody homegirl. They will homegirl the fuck out you, friend zone the fuck out you. Trust me. So you gotta do that shit for yourself. You're gonna have to be the strongest soldier, baby. But it's
even though it may feel like you're losing, you didn't.
It's worth it because what you want to do, get to the end of your life and be like, okay, well, I lived a good life where I kept myself clean. I remember that, the temple of God resides in me. My body is a temple, and I'm not about to be letting everybody come in here and knock shit over. Or you want to be the girl with 50 bodies, 5 kids, and a bunch of baby daddies and trauma, smoking cigarettes and patting your head.
Pat scratch. Like, no, for real. I know, like, I say it facetiously all the time, like the hose is winning, right? Because that's just what it appears to be on the outside. That's the perception that the hose is winning at the end of the day. Well, at least currently, but at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, they lost. You just don't see that part. You just see the fun part.
See, that's the part now. Now here's the part that gets that makes that situation a little bit sticky. I don't know why. That's the only word I got. But essentially, the hoes are winning. What does that mean exactly? Are we saying are the hoes getting married also? Is that the winning, or are they just getting things that seemed like superficial?
Seem like they getting what they want, right? So I think like a hoes game is different than what a good girl's game is. So a lot of times you're thinking like, oh, but they didn't win the Super Bowl. They play basketball. And these motherfuckers been to the finals 7 times in a row. They getting buckets. They NBA all-star around this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And y'all keep trying to tell us it's okay, but they not winning Super Bowls because you care about football, and everything about hemp life is football. And we don't give a fuck how many times they went to the finals because they ain't got a Super Bowl. Because that's how you thinking. You see what I'm saying? And that's literally how you feel, like no other sports matter. So, but that's how we have to feel. Like, we're in it for the Super Bowl, but we keep looking at the girls and they're like, damn, basketball look easy. It look easy to get the chips in basketball. Because it is. It's easy to whore yourself out. It's easy to hop on OnlyFans. It's easy to put yourself out there, but that shit is easy. You can stand on the corner with your thumb in the air and be a goner. It's easy.
I think social media plays a big role in it, though, because let's be honest, us that we're a certain age right now. Social media wasn't around back when we were younger, so we didn't. I don't think we thought the hoes was winning as much as we do now. Because
as
we
much as we do now. As much as we do now,
as much
yes.
as we do now,
'Cause
right?
I was gonna say like the same sentiment was there because I remember
Right.
feeling it. But
Right.
It's
you know,
been
all we had, you know,
exacerbated.
we had
Yes.
it. There you go.
And
Yep.
then we
And
can
That's
see
key
we
though.
can
That's
see
key.
them we can see them, and then they're
Mhm.
influencers because these are the girls that's big. They just had like two white girls, like they're like, if you're an attractive woman, why are you in college? What the fuck are you going to do in college? You can make this money on OnlyFans. Da, da, da. And this is what that's who influencing the younger girls. They're making little girls feel bad about why are you trying to go to college and you're good looking.
Well, you know what? I just don't know if ladies do, and I think we were talking about it yesterday, like influencing each other. But from what I gathered, like ladies don't make it a point to influence the younger generation. When the sentiment is made about competition, it seems like that's what it is majority. Like the older ladies, because nobody's married, so the older ladies are in competition with the young ones. So is the structure of the relationships um like like advisory, or is it
Wait,
adversarial?
It's
what
I
are
think
what are
it's
the older ladies competing with the younger ladies for?
the
Men,
same men.
attention, time, money.
Oh, no, I
Yeah,
don't know
the
Yeah.
about
same
that
men.
one.
So it's like bullshit sprinkled with like these whole girl groups. There's a bunch of mean fucking girls that's trying to influence you on some other shit. Is they in their 50s? The 50-year-old men want the 20-year-old girls, but they telling them don't have kids, don't worry about these men. Oh, sisterhood is the only thing you need. Like travel the world, have fun, don't worry about these men. Like that's they got there. Now they ain't gonna wait for you to go through your shit and just get bitter and be at 50 and hope that you actually get a husband and don't have to be bitter at 50. They 50 and they want you to have the same mindset as a bitter 50-year-old woman at 20.
Mm.
Don't let them waste your good years, girl.
That part, right? See, I can hear those more than I can hear what's being said right now. That's what I'm saying. Are we advising or are we adversaries? Because we're in competition for the same things.
Well, sure. I mean, if you're hearing it, then it's more than likely going to be not on a one-on-one basis. So, yeah, then I would see it as a competition for attention because you're competing for those you're competing for those views from the younger women and those likes and all that kind of stuff like that. But to my experience, when it's a one-on-one type of thing, I don't see that as often. Sure, you know, you had your grandma say, you know, be careful and don't tie yourself down too early and all that kind of stuff like that. And she'll give you all the scary shit about what she went through during marriage, sure. But I don't think it's the go out and go out and wild out in your 20s and do what you want to do. I don't think it's on that extreme either
Hmm.
on the one-on-one.
Hmm. Okay.
On the internet, I think it's just going to be a natural competition, period.
Okay. So this thing, see, I was looking at some old school advice, right? And I don't know, I just found this thing. But I found this to be slightly problematic. Let me get you guys' thoughts because we're talking about discipline.
For one, they should not be dating one boy. They shouldn't be dating one boy. They should be dating multiple people. And dating multiple people does not mean sleeping with multiple people. I don't advise anybody 21 to be settled down with one person, you know? And that's not to say be out here frivolously, whatever, but they should because a lot of the times you know, they date one person and they get that one person mindset, and they don't see what else is out there. They honestly don't even know what they want, because you can't, you if you're only getting one thing, you can't say if I like something else or if I don't like something else, because you only have that one thing to compare it to. And I think, you know, so focus on more on dating and not being stuck with somebody. Our younger women are 21, they all voided. They lack thereof themselves. When they take off the hair, the eyelashes, they're empty, you know? And so they're searching for an attachment. So a lot of the young girls are bisexual by default because they accept anything as long as they have an attachment. Right.
So she went into a little bit different of a reason, but that advice, are you recommending women date more than one man at a time? Does it make sense what she said?
I'm against it. I think it's a waste of time, honestly. The only reason why I feel like I'm against the rotation is because I think it can prolong it. So if I'm dating Alexis and Callie and they both full of shit, I'm gonna pick the one that's less full of shit. But it's that because I'm not focused on it. So every time Alexis pissed me off, I'm gonna just be with Callie. And every time Callie pissed me off, I might just start messing with Tiff.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
none of them have actual enough substance for me to actually be in a monogamous
Let's see it.
one-on-one relationship. So once I commit to Tiff, I realized she wasn't shit. She was just a little that I needed to fill the void when I really wanted to be with Callie because Alexis was acting bad. So I just think like if you substance, you should give your substance. If you full of substance, you got to give yourself to one person. If that shit don't work out, then you move on. Is it devastating dealing with one person at a time? Do you get attached? Do you get emotional? Learn how to get over it. That's how you learn how to manage your emotions and deal with disappointment, and you move on. That's how you hold on to your boundaries. But this whole concept, I think that's just dumb. And don't get me wrong, because I know that's the new wave. Everybody's doing the rotation thing. But I think that shit is dumb. Nobody's genuinely building. Because you're lying. You're not telling 10 niggas that you're talking to 10 niggas. Because then none of them will be taking you serious. So that means you're lying to every last one of them. Now you're trying to build something real with somebody you're lying to. Because you're not telling multiple men you're dealing with multiple men. You're not. Which means you're lying. Which means when you're on a date and that dude texting you, you saying, oh, I'm cleaning up my house. Bitch, you're at Chili's. I can see you. See what I'm saying? So it's like I think it's a really bad deal, but it's just like a new wave that we hopped on. So people can stop, that's my take.
I was acting bad, but I'm just saying that for women, I don't think it's good for us to try to date unless you just gonna be honest. Like Sherelle said, if you could be honest and say like, hey, I'm talking to these dudes, you're on a trial period. Like, then possibly, but for women, it just don't work like that, and it's unfortunate. I don't want to sound like sexist and unfortunately have to put out that narrative. There's a difference between women and men, and I just don't think it's a good look for women.
Why?
To date multiple.
Why?
Because unless you're a woman that can really detach, emotionally, and how women just date differently, I just don't think it's going to be in your best interest. And maybe if you're just dating and you're not having sex with none of them, that's another thing. It just don't work for women like how it works for men. That's the best way I could put it. It just don't work for women like it worked for men. It just won't. It just won't. And I've seen it happen.
What y'all think? Should a woman be able to date multiple men at once? Should she find the one she like? Or should she go one by one and discard? That way she don't get confused by the lesser of two evils like Sherelle kind of articulated. Jalen, Tiff, Joel?
I think one by one. It's too much. It's too much to try to juggle. Too much physically, mentally, emotionally. It's too much.
Jalen?
I don't know. I define dating differently. I think anything before that, you're not having sex. There's no romance. There's no intimacy. Y'all just talking at this point. So dating one by one makes sense per that definition.
Okay. But if you're single and you're trying to get to know people, like like going out on dates with multiple different men is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't think that can cause her to err? Can that cause confusion, or you think she can keep him?
If you
Okay,
are
he was
having
cool.
sex
He
with
was
all of
cool.
these men and getting attached to all of these men that quick, just talk to one. Just talk to one. You're going to get attached and have sex and do all of that, just stick to one. But if you are genuinely trying to get to know these strangers, you can get to know strangers multiple at a time. Yeah. You're getting to know these people. It's not there's no commitment. You're not having sex. Nothing. You're getting to know them.
Right. I think that's fine as long as sex isn't involved.
That's what that is. Your friends, acquaintances. That's it.
Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying I agree with Jalen as long as sex isn't involved. Because once you add sex to the equation, it complicates things.
I think that's the problem. Like, the sex is given up too quickly. There's no boundary. You just go on with the flow instead of setting a clear boundary. I do not want to have sex with you. Will he walk away? Maybe. But that's your boundary. You don't want to end up with 10 bodies, right? No sex.
Tiff?
I agree. I think dating is one thing, courting is another. And definitely when you begin to be intimate with people, personally, if we're being intimate, then we together. I definitely do not think that women can be intimate with multiple men at the same time. I just, that I don't know. But it's not a but. I don't believe that women can be with more than two men intimately, not together, but nah. That's it. No.
Okay. So she could date, or she can go out on dates, and then once she decides, it got to be one of them.
If you want, the minute you start having sex, we're not dating anymore. We are taking the relationship to another level. A casual dating is just that. And I even asked, like, the way that we dated was you dated, then a person, you kind of became courted, and then from courting, typically it would either be like an engagement and then a marriage. But because we don't do that any longer, the dating process has to be intentional. And you definitely, just based off the numbers of what's happening with Black women and STDs, we see that being with multiple men, it doesn't work. It goes back to what I said. Women cannot behave and or be physical in an intimate. You just can't. The variables are too high. The risk is too high.
Okay. I hear it. I want one more thing I want to show y'all. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.